Matt Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And thank you for being with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Obviously, you've heard by now that Tiger Woods had quite a bad car accident. He's had some issues in the last decade or so. Decade and a half-ish. It started with his with the little argument with his wife, where she was bashing in his window from behind, and he took off and crashed into the tree. Oh. Remember that?
Yep.
And then it was discovered, long line of other women in his life. I read one article where they listed 120. 120. I don't know if that was accurate, but I think there were several at least. And then what? Recently, he's been through 5 back surgeries that we know of.
Oh yeah, that's true.
5. He's been through several knee surgeries, and yesterday apparently, first of all, they said they had to remove him with the jaws of life, and then they said no, they didn't remove him with the jaws of life. So, I guess he was just in a hurry. He was late for a golf appointment.
Yeah.
He was supposed to golf with Drew Brees.
Like a lesson, right?
Yeah, I guess it was a lesson or something. I don't know. And he was apparently late. He's never late. They said he's never late for anything, but he was for this. I don't know why. And so he was apparently trying to make up for time.
On a road that's very dangerous, hilly, curvy.
Yeah.
Not a good plan.
So he wiped out and had some serious leg injuries. I think he broke both legs.
Yeah.
And he broke one leg in a couple of different places. And so
ankle,
pins and screws and all kinds of things in his leg. It's just going to make it all the tougher for him to return to form.
I mean, is he ever going to play at this point?
I don't know.
You're wondering.
Yeah, I would wonder that. Oh. But too bad. For a person that I think everybody on earth thought that he was going to turn out to be the world's greatest golfer and win more Masters than even Jack Nicklaus. He was on pace for, 20-some major titles. And I think he's stuck at 14 now. Yeah. It's 18 for Jack Nicklaus. So it doesn't look like he's going to get there anymore. He's 45 years old, and now he's got pins and screws all through his legs. And, the back fusions that he's done. Jeez. So.
Long road ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, but fortunately, he's alive.
Yeah.
Which is pretty miraculous, according to some of the officers that were on the scene there.
Yeah.
It was a bad crash.
It hit the center median and flew hundreds of feet. And to see the images of the vehicle, he's lucky it's just pins and screws in his legs at this point.
Yeah, it looked like he rolled a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So it was, he's fortunate. He's fortunate. Hopefully he'll walk, be able to do normal things. I mean, the guy's made a ton of money, and he'll continue to make a ton of money with all of his Nike contracts and whatever else he endorses. So I'm sure he's going to be taken care of. So financially, he should be okay. But, you would have liked to have seen him be able to go after the records. I would have anyway. The only reason I was interested in golf over the last 12 years was because of Tiger Woods.
Oh, okay.
It's the only time I ever paid attention.
I bet you're not alone in that.
Yeah.
I bet lots of people.
I know I'm not.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a golf fan. So I only paid attention when Tiger was doing well. Like the last time I paid attention to the Masters was when he won it.
I was just about to ask
What was that, last year or the year before?
Can I get you into the Masters this year? Definitely not now, huh?
Not now. Probably not. Are you a big golf fan?
Just the Masters. I don't know what
Really?
it is, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the Georgia thing, but that is the one tournament. Like, I might put it on golf on the rare occasion. I'm not following it. I'm not doing any of that except for the Masters. That's 4 days where I'm glued.
Really?
I'm a weirdo, man. I got it.
That is weird.
Yeah.
That's like only following one car race during the year. I only do Daytona. I don't follow any other race.
That was accurate for a while, too.
Was it?
I only watched Daytona.
I only watch the Super Bowl. I don't watch anything during the course of the year. I only watch the Super Bowl. There's probably people who do that.
Yeah, okay. So I'm not that weird.
Are. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still weird. But no, seriously, and that's what stunk when they moved the Masters to November. I'm like, football, man. No, don't make me choose. So I had a tough time following along with the Masters in November. So I'm hoping that we're back to normal.
It usually happens, what, April? Yeah. All right. I think you'll be happy to note that the kids are back in the cages on the border, so that's good.
Say what?
The kids are back in the cages. And the cages are back to hold the kids.
So Trump's in charge again.
So, no. Strangely, he's not. This is an amazing story. It's hard to believe the hypocrisy. And it's hard to believe they get away with it, but they do every single time. All they have to do is change the language. Rather than kids in cages, we're just reopening overflow facilities.
Overflow?
Yeah, that's the overflow facility. And so we opened it up. We reopened it. What? Yes, there's only kids in it. So it's an overflow facility. And these are like teenagers. They're not like small children. Yeah, so are the last group, probably. Well, most of them would have been teenagers because that's who shows up unaccompanied at the border. So the Biden White House is actually, in some quarters, being accused of hypocrisy for reopening these facilities to house migrant teenagers, including one that both Biden and Harris savaged then-President Donald Trump about on the campaign trail. Biden blasted Trump repeatedly for separating families and failing to reunite them, decrying during an October debate that migrant children were ripped from their parents' arms and separated. Remember that? Harris, then a senator, said in 2018, at the peak of the family separation controversy, that Trump's treatment of migrants was a crime against humanity. On Monday, the Department of Health and Human Services reopened a facility in Texas to house up to 700 migrants aged 13 to 17. A second facility in Florida also is being reopened.
Huh. Oh, wait, so they're expanding cages now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Isn't that great? The decision rankled immigration advocates and sparked allegations of hypocrisy. No. Come on now. You're talking about Democrats. They only care about the children. Except, okay, not the 60 million that they've had killed through abortion. Not those children. They don't care about them. And not these children that they're dumping in overflow facilities. They don't care about them. But the ones that Trump put in the overflow facilities, I mean, the cages, they did care about those people. Those children were mistreated so badly. And it was, I think, a crime against humanity is a kind way to put it. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki was pressed about the issue. At her briefing, she danced around the issue, of course, insisting it was a temporary measure for unaccompanied minors that is necessitated by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Oh, now they've got that to lean on. Mm-hmm. See, Trump went with the, which was completely accurate, thank you very much, let's keep them away from sex traffickers. And people that are not their family members, which was a completely legitimate reason.
Totally legit.
But I love this. We're going to lean on COVID as long as we can. And they're going to do that with everything for as long as they can get away with, just like just like Obama leaned on Bush to blame everything. Biden's going to use Trump and COVID now.
Yep. Psaki said there needs to be spacing to ensure the health and safety of these kids. HHS took steps to open an emergency facility to add capacity where these kids could be provided the care they need before they're safely placed with families and sponsors. Same stuff Trump was saying.
Exactly.
Although they were having none of it at the time. It was the worst human crisis of all time. It was such abuse that they were about to turn us over to the UN's terrorism committee or whatever that group is where terrorists usually head it. The Human Rights Commission, I think, at the UN, which at one point was headed by Syria.
Oh, well,
remember that?
The moral arbiter of the planet.
Oh, Syria has always been, right at the pinnacle of moral standing on this planet. She said, so it's a temporary reopening during COVID-19. Our intention is very much to close it, but we want to make sure we can follow COVID protocols. Our goal is for them to then be transferred to families or sponsors. Yeah, that's really tough, and you're going to find that out. That's really hard because the families have either been shipped back home or they're somewhere else in the country, and you can't find them anymore. So this is our effort to ensure that kids are not in close proximity and that we're abiding by the health and safety standards that the government has been set out. All right. She rejected the notion that housing the kids at the 66-acre site was akin to holding kids in cages. Of course, it's nothing like that. I can't believe you even brought that up.
Right.
It's nothing like kids in cages.
Did you hear AOC's response to all of this?
No.
So she tweeted out, "This is not okay. Never has been okay.
Did she really?
Never will be okay, no matter the administration or party." She went on to tweet, It's only 2 months into this administration." I'm sorry. Now she's doing shorthand so she can get all of her characters in. It's barely legible here. "It's only 2 months into this administration, and our fraught, unjust immigration system will not transform in that time. That's why bold reimagination is so," I assume she means important, IMPT. So that's a congresswoman for you. They're telling us...
At least she's somewhat consistent.
Yes,
there.
she is.
At least she's taking on the Biden administration as well. Well, good.
She wants a bold reimagination.
Give her a little bit of it. That's about all she deserves. In fact, that was more than she deserves.
Yeah, definitely.
But seriously, thank you for at least acknowledging, it's the same thing you complained about under Trump.
So what is the administration going to do to shut her up?
I don't know.
Take away her Twitter password?
They might, yeah. She's hard to shut up because, she's such a force on social media.
Uh-huh.
And the kids love her. I mean, if it were up to 18 to 35-year-olds, she'd probably be president of the United States. Seriously. But the other groups, fortunately, somewhat over 35, I think that they understand she's a nightmare. But the 18 to 35 crowd, they love her. They love her like crazy.
I was thinking they might go with Cardi B as president. You think AOC?
Well, yeah, I mean, it could go either way, frankly.
Sure could.
It could go either way.
Flip the coin.
Cardi B. They are similar when you think about it. They're similar in intelligence quota.
Uh-huh.
So the same stuff continues to happen under this president at the border, which reminds me of what Glenn talks about when he had that meeting with George W. Bush. When Bush took him aside and said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Glenn, because the next guy will act very much as I did, because you have to. They'll see when they get into the office that they're going to act pretty much the same. And what's he doing? He's acting pretty much the same, even though he knows the PR nightmare this is going to be. Why? Because you have to do it. What do you do when a bunch of 13 to 17-year-olds show up unaccompanied by any guardian? I don't know. Do you put them in with the rest of the adults? No, that's dangerous. It's foolhardy. It's reckless, and it's asinine, and it's almost criminal if you do that.
Yeah.
So you find a separate place where you can house the young kids, and it's away from the adults, some of whom are not good people. It makes sense to do it that way.
Kind of have a solution. What if we built a wall and we kind of stopped it before they got here?
Well, now you're just speaking hate. Why would you do that? Why would you speak the language of hate when we're trying to come together here? Mm-hmm. Wow, that hurts me.
And I know we'll get to it later, but they completely just stopped construction on Trump's wall.
Oh, yeah.
Just said, January 20th is here. It's time to move all these supplies out that you were about to build a wall with. And Lindsey Graham went down to the border And he gave us a little tour of one of those areas where they have stopped construction.
Let's see that.
Oh, you'll see this?
Mm-hmm. Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham at the border.
This is a wash crossing, I've been told. They're going to have gates for the water to pass through. But if you don't build a wall, there's literally a hole in the wall. Mm-hmm. I've been told they have been ordered to stop plugging this hole, which makes this entire wall almost useless. To counter this, they're having to have labor-intensive efforts of manpower. They're having people watch and ATVs going up and down. Mm-hmm. If they had just built these 2 panels, they could take those resources and apply it somewhere else. This is beyond dumb. Even for the federal government, this is beyond dumb.
Look at that.
It was worth the whole trip
to
see how stupid this is becoming. If you don't fill in this little gap, everything else you've done makes no sense. And the people in charge of defending our country from illegal crossings have a real problem on their hands. Let's fix it. Whether you're Republican, Democrat, vegetarian, libertarian,
real problem.
It makes no sense to build a wall with a hole in it.
Why do so many people not use the B in the word problem? It's a real problem. Harry Reid used to do that all the time, too. The problem is, it's problem. Okay? But aside from that, he's exactly right. And how often has Lindsey Graham been exactly right? Not that often. So you got to stop and just kind of soak it in for a minute.
I mean, the transformation of Lindsey Graham on the border is fascinating.
Isn't it, though?
Because this is the guy that...
He was Mr. We called him Grahamnesty.
Yep. 15 years ago.
That's amazing.
He was on the floor of the Senate ripping people like you and I who would call his office. I'm the king of the phone call. People always call me. Lindsey, got to do... Oh, my gosh. And remember, he went to the... What's the radical Hispanic organization that he went to?
LULAC.
And he went there and he says, we're going to tell the haters to shut up. And, oh, God.
That's amazing.
This guy. But right now, at this moment in time, Lindsey Graham's got it.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Because Democrats went the exact opposite way.
Right?
They used to be where they should be on immigration, and now they're completely the opposite of that. It's amazing.
Maddening.
It's amazing. Wow. But yes, leaving a gaping hole when you've got the equipment right there. You got the materials right there.
Right there.
You could put it right up. But Biden said from the very beginning, I'm not going to build another foot. Not one more foot of wall will we build. So there you go. All that material just going to lay there and rot.
No, what? No, they're going to have to go in and get it out. We've got to spend taxpayer dollars to go in there and remove this stuff and store it inland until the next administration or whatever.
But it's hard to do, Keith. Nobody wants to do that because then you got to lift stuff, and put it on trucks.
That's true. And if they leave it, you're right. If they leave it like that, I mean, if you're an illegal immigrant, you can't climb over those panels that are laying flat like that. I'll take them all day.
When I lived in Salt Lake City in the early 80s, they were going to build these twin 50-story towers downtown. And they brought in all the material. I mean, this was a huge project, and it was going to be really cool. And I was pretty excited about it. So they bring in all the materials. All the steel is there for about 15 years.
Oh, no. No.
Yeah. The guy who was building it, Adnan Khashoggi, Saudi Arabian arms dealer, turned out to be a Saudi arms dealer. And ran into some trouble with the law. And so the complex never got built. And the steel just laid there and rotted for year after year after year. And I bet you the same thing happens at the border.
That sounds like Boise, Idaho, the Boise Tower. Anybody listening there? Carrie and I were there about 20 years ago and I thought, this is going to be a great building with apartments and stuff. It's going to be on the skyline of Boise, shops down below. And then they ran out of money, and there was just this big hole in Boise, Idaho for the longest time.
Did they ever fill it?
I don't know what happened with that thing. That was a long time ago, but it was the same kind of thing.
When it rains, you can just make it a swimming pool. It's now just a swimming hole.
It's a fishing pond in the middle of Boise, Idaho.
Right. Just you think out of the box, that's all.
Yeah.
All right. Something else you want to get out of the box are Built Bars because they're delicious. You want to take them out of the box and put them in your mouth. Well, you might want to unwrap the wrapper too, and then jam them in your mouth. They're so good.
So good.
If you're trying to eat healthier, it's a great way to do it because it quenches that sweet tooth that you have, and they're pretty darn good for you. Just 110 to 160 calories, so you don't have to feel guilty. Plus 16 to 20 grams of protein in every bar. They'll probably be they're for sure the healthiest thing I'm going to eat today. Now, you might eat a little bit healthier, but this is a great way to go. They come in a bunch of different delicious flavors. They seem to be adding a flavor about every day, and you're going to find a bunch of them that you like, and you'll think, wow, that is my favorite. And then you'll try another one, and you'll think, whoa, that mint brownie, that's my new favorite. Then you'll try a caramel, or the salted caramel, or the caramel brownie, and you'll think, no, that's my favorite now. I mean, it's just, they're great.
Seriously, eating right never tasted so good.
No
you
question.
can use that Built Bar.
Nice. That's nice of you.
There you go.
Built Bar is your answer. Go to BuiltBar.com. Use the promo code PAT20 to get 20% off your next order. Use the promo code PAT20 for 20% off at BuiltBar.com.
Beware. Pat Gray is unleashed.
Triple 8-933-93. We told you about Cornell doing this minorities only course. They're going to do the BIPOC rock climbing. I'm not sure what BIPOC stands for.
Oh, no. I feel a Googling coming on.
Yeah, check that out.
BIPOC, what was it?
BIPOC rock climbing.
Rock climbing. Okay, I'll see here.
It's a racially... Oh, it's BIPOC for people of color, I'll bet.
Oh, okay.
Something of people of color?
People of color, yeah.
What's the bi, though? B-I.
I'm afraid to Google that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A racially segregated physical education course. BIPOC rock climbing landed at Cornell in the middle of the controversy until the school wiped the original description of the class from its website.
Oh, I wonder why.
It's illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't even let that get in the way because nobody complains about it, so I don't care that it's illegal.
I was always taught, and maybe just old school, that segregation was a bad thing.
Huh.
Is that not the case anymore?
No, that's not the case anymore.
So,
what kind of ancient classes did you attend? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new thing is we need to separate ourselves because they don't want to be around us.
That's what I'm learning.
White people.
That is what I'm learning.
Who would want to be around us? Nobody.
I mean, that's
We don't
true.
even want to be around us.
That's absolutely true.
It is.
So you're making their point.
I know.
For them.
The original description explained that the class was restricted to, quote, people who identify as black, indigenous. Oh, okay, so maybe it's black, indigenous, people of color, rock climbing.
We just cracked the code.
Just
nice
cracked it.
job, Pat.
Black, indigenous, Latinx, Asian, or other people of color. Sure enough, it's got to be black, indigenous, people of color. After pushback, though, from Campus Reform, thank you, Campus Reform,
Yeah, they're good.
and other online watchdogs, the school edited the page to say that the class is designed to enable black, indigenous, Latinx, Asian, or other people of color underrepresented in the sport of rock climbing to learn the sport and to feel included and supported.
Wait, hold on. I think the biggest issue I have with this story now is they're calling it a sport.
Yeah, that is true. It's a little bit of a stretch, maybe.
Like a hobby,
It's an
right?
activity.
It's an activity.
Yeah. It's an exercise.
Exercising, yes.
Uh-huh.
It's a sport. It's not, okay, and maybe there is, and I will be humbled here. If there's a rock climbing league, then I will consider it a sport. If you
Okay.
don't have a league, or if you don't have playoffs, then it's definitely not a sport.
And it's not even an Olympic competition as
Thank
far
you.
as I know. So, you're in trouble if you don't even have an Olympic competition. But what bothers me about this, too, is that, black and indigenous, Latinx, Asian, other people of color are apparently not interested in, rock climbing because nobody's stopping them from doing it now. So,
Thank you!
why would you set up a class for something nobody's interested in? Nothing has been stopping them. They can go rock climbing if they want. They don't, apparently. and you just want to force them into it? I mean, it's like, I'll never forget when we were in Houston, there was a NASCAR push to get black drivers into NASCAR. Well, they don't like NASCAR. There was also a big push around that same time for more blacks to get back into baseball because they had lost a lot of interest in the black community. Well, if they don't want to play baseball, what are you going to do? Force them to?
That's weird, man.
Nobody is stopping minorities from doing these things, as far as I know.
Let people gravitate naturally. Why do you?
Yeah, right.
What? You know what this is? This is white culture. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Forcing itself on people of color. I thought we're supposed to stop doing that.
Yes, and if it's predominantly white, aren't you appropriating our culture by rock climbing now? How dare you? How dare you start climbing rocks? That's a white thing.
Yeah.
Claim that, though, and you're a racist.
Right.
So there's just no winning for white people. You can't win. By the way, if you want to get involved in the black, indigenous, people of color rock climbing,
BIPOC.
It's $1,890 a semester. So
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
$1,890 per
For
semester.
the semester?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What? Wait.
I don't.
Okay.
Maybe that covers equipment. Maybe you get to get some rock climbing equipment with that.
Now minorities need to be upset that they're being price gouged.
Yes.
Because that's stupid.
Well, it is Cornell, so I'm sure there's a lot of price gouging going on there. But what an insanely stupid world. Why would you force this onto people who are just not interested? But it doesn't make any sense to me.
Not only that, but I'm so sick and tired of being told we need to come together. We need to all be in the same space. We need to unite. We need to appreciate each other's differences.
Then they segregate
And then you turn around and you're like, what the hell? Wait. Why is there a special club for minorities over here? What are you doing? You just educated a generation of people to say we should all come together and live in the same space and appreciate each other's differences. And you blink and you're over here doing your BIPOC.
Also, all through the 60s, 70s, and 80s, they were encouraging white people to come back to the inner city.
Right.
So they did.
I love this. Keep preaching, brother.
So they did.
And
And now what's happening? Now the blacks are all pissed off about it, at least black activists.
Yes.
Black Lives Matter is yelling at those same people you told to come into the inner city, and so they did,
right,
to live next to blacks and other people of color, and now you're pissed off that they're there.
As you're saying this, I'm thinking of that video that we had of the BLM lady leading this mob with a megaphone. I forgot where it was. Was it St. Louis somewhere? Shouting up at these people in the inner city that have moved in, saying, this used to be my neighborhood. Get out.
Yeah.
What the hell do you want from us?
You took this house from a person of color. Get out of it. Okay. Thought you asked me to come down here and live, among you. So I was willing to do that.
You can't. You
can't win.
You cannot win.
It's a no-win situation. It's like global warming. It doesn't matter what happens. You're in the wrong.
What makes you happy today is gonna piss you off tomorrow.
No doubt about it.
It's like Texas weather. You just can't settle on something.
I mean, how easy is it for people on the left? They've got it so easy. No matter what.
Right.
They win the argument.
I like that.
And they still are losing.
I want to be on that team.
I know. All right. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We got Jeffy's in the building, in the house, if you will. All up in here, if you will. And so he'll be chewing the fat with us next. Also, there's an all-gay campground that the trans community is a little pissed off about.
All right.
Because you have to, the owners of the all-gay campground say, if you're a trans woman or a trans man, you're not allowed. You must have a penis to enjoy this campground.
I appreciate that.
No.
I mean, seriously.
I know.
Go do your own campsite. Go do your own sports league. Come on, transgenders. Get with it.
It's another one of those sweet occurrences where liberals eat their own, though. I'll tell you about that as well coming up. It is that special time of the week. Even the drum's off key. It seems like, doesn't it?
Is that possible? Is that even possible?
Yes,
Okay.
we just heard it. Here it comes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's special. That's special. Thank you.
And of course, this all means it's time to chew the fat.
Thank you.
Ever let it
Thank
go
you.
that long?
I don't know, but that's incredible that they held it that long.
That's very special. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
You're happy to do it.
I hope you're doing okay now. I mean, I'm thawed out now. From the
81
threes.
yesterday. 81.
I'm good here
84.
now in Texas, but I went for some food supplies on Sunday evening, and this was the dairy department when I went shopping on Sunday night.
Yeah, I've noticed that the stores are still
I stood there screaming, "Where is Ted Cruz?"
right,
waiting for an answer.
Well, clearly he's in Cancun.
Thank you.
Otherwise, the store shelves will be stocked.
Thank you. So
Without Ted in the state, there was nobody to stock the shelves.
I bet there's milk in Cancun.
So angry.
I'll
the
bet there
grocery
is.
stores.
Angry.
I'll bet you're right, Keith. Maybe somebody, if you're listening in Cancun, send us a photo of your store shelves.
Leche.
Gotta be full.
Gotta be.
Gotta be full. And, just a side note on Ted Cruz. I know he's busy out doing the rounds of. He's pissed at the neighbors now because there was a report that his wife had said, "Hey, come to Cancun with us," and he's saying, "Hey, don't be rude." He was saying these are the same neighbors that we talked to and had Beto O'Rourke signs up in the neighborhood that I didn't give him a hard time about. And you know what? You brought it on yourself, Ted. You shouldn't have apologized. So move on. So, live with it, pal. You brought it on yourself. No matter what he does now, no matter how much water he delivers, no matter how much good he does, it's never going to be enough.
No matter how many puppies he saves,
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter what he does.
Doesn't
now.
matter.
Yeah.
I don't care. So I'm sorry. I'm on your side, but you should never have apologized. Should have just stayed. I'm sorry that you were a snowbird going down south in the winter.
Yeah.
What humans do.
That's unprecedented.
Nobody's ever done it before.
Right.
He was
Yeah.
the first person to ever go south in the winter. when it
That'll
was cold.
teach you to be a pioneer, Mr. Cruz.
Right?
That's just agonizing. Other than that question,
Would people be pissed if he'd gone to Montana? it was colder. I don't know. I don't know.
probably because it was about him leaving the state.
They wouldn't have found out because no one's on a flight to Montana.
That's a good point.
Not this time of year, that's for sure.
The airlines are like, no, we don't even go there.
Yeah.
Seasonal destination.
Other than that question, I also want to know who died and made Bill Gates the all-knowing, all-seeing soothsayer from on high.
Seriously.
Because I see him quoted everywhere now about everything.
Yep. Climate change, vaccines.
I know he's not the richest person on the planet anymore. So
right.
I mean, he is the largest farmland owner in the United States, 242,000 acres.
Concerning.
What's that about?
I know. I see where he's out hawking a new book, How to Avoid a Climate Disaster.
Oh, of course.
Which, has got to be great reading. And he says that all rich countries should move to 100% synthetic beef.
Ugh.
You first, Bill.
You can get used to the taste difference.
Can you?
They're going to make it even taste better in time. So just get used to it.
Right now, yes, it tastes like a Dow chemical plant. But in time, it'll only taste like you're in a portion of the Dow chemical plant.
Eliminate
not the
all
entire plant.
Eliminate all greenhouse gas in 30 years, or else the world will be 5 times worse than the pandemic.
Which
governments
says it wasn't
should
a bad
avoid relying too much on their reinforcements. They should not rely on charities. Slams Bitcoin. He slammed cryptocurrencies. Be good to get rid of that. Cryptocurrency allows for certain criminal activities.
Nobody traffics in criminal dollars.
No,
nobody does that.
No.
So,
you know what else works in that department is illegal aliens that you can't track because they don't have Social Security number and Anyway, we can continue
let
down this
them
road.
in because they're going to get the Social Security numbers, no problem, and get the health care and everything they need. According to their Bill Gates Foundation, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, if you teach your students of color the right way to do math, you're reinforcing white supremacy culture.
So we should teach them the wrong way?
That's correct.
Whites don't do it the wrong way?
That's correct.
Just a reminder, this is just a week in quotes from Bill
Yes.
Gates that Jeffy is sharing
Yes.
here. The man is out of control on all fronts.
All I want him to do is just go back to drinking from the poop water that he's creating and leave us alone. That's all I want.
Did you see this, Pat?
He's just
big
just
sip.
drinking-
Was that
drinking
sewage
poop water.
It was
water.
poop. He just
poop
drank water that came
he's
out
got
of poop.
a part of his foundation in Senegal, I think, is they're creating this machine that
Look at this.
makes,
Look at this.
that makes.
And I'll tell you something.
Big sip.
That's
Big sip.
laudable. That's good. That's
Yes,
a
it
great
is.
thing. I love that.
Yes, it is. It's
I
the
love that.
Janicki Omni processor is what it's called, and you know that it's absolutely great.
But leave us alone on the
Yeah.
rest of the
Thank
stuff.
you.
Okay,
Thank
guys,
you.
I don't know. You first.
Mind your own
again.
business.
Thank you.
yeah.
You drink the poop.
And he did.
Which
there.
you did.
So that's
Yeah.
great.
Speaking of human waste drinking, though, for 4 days, a British woman
No.
and her 4 children
No.
gulped down their own urine.
No.
Why, you ask?
No.
Why? I asked.
Because I was believing that it would protect them from COVID-19.
You answered.
And according to the story,
Oh no.
she told officials she was convinced to drink her pee
He
By-
continued.
by a trusted friend or relative.
He intoned.
So, who I guess served as the mom's source of pandemic-related news.
Said Jeffy.
I don't even know if the story is real.
He exclaimed.
Did she get an email from a Nigerian prince that
I
convinced
think
her?
so. Plus, in the story, it talks about her. The mom cited a debunked conspiracy theory involving Bill and Melinda Gates.
Jeffy mocked.
But it doesn't say what happened to the lady or the children.
I'm done.
So the story, I don't even believe is real. I think it's just a story that they're throwing out there to tell you that there's no cures for COVID-19.
Oh, okay.
Nothing has been clinically proven to prevent it except for the vaccine. And we can't do, of course, without mentioning that Trump told people to ingest bleach to combat the virus. We can't do the story
Right, yeah,
without mentioning that. So I'm sure, I don't even know if the
right.
story is real because there's no
They didn't
ending
mention
to
that?
the story.
Oh, yeah, then it's not legitimate.
I know. That's just insane.
All right. Got to take a minute and tell you about something very important here. Do you know that Kamala Harris just sold a home for $800,000 in San Francisco? So you're
Wow.
thinking, oh, that's nice. She bought the home in 2004 for $489,000 and then sold it for $800,000.
Wait.
Made a tiny little profit there.
Wait,
A little
wait.
bit. That's not
And
bad.
there's it's one of those.
Wow, that is.
Oh, that is
Wow.
What a beautiful, beautiful.
Look at what 800,000
Look at that.
gets you in San Francisco.
Come on now, that's despicable. That it's $800,000 for that.
I mean, you can even wash the windows, man.
You know what you can get in Texas for $800,000?
Oh.
Come down here and if you're conservative, if you're not, you get something smaller than this that's rat infested.
In fact,
If you're a liberal, that's what
I'll
you get.
sell you. I'll sell you a house in Texas that size for $800,000.
Wow.
Right now.
Right? All right. Now, in order to prevent buying a house like that for $800,000, you
Was
need
there a way
good
to get around
realtor.
it?
Yes.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
with real estate agents I trust. You could trust these people not to get you into a crap hole like that and overpay for something that's, I don't know, what was that, 1,000 square feet maybe?
Oh, gosh.
Oh.
I gotta look that up.
Ridiculous.
I bet you it's
Ridiculous.
like 1,200 though. In 1,000, Pat. You're talking crazy now.
I'll bet it's maybe even under 1,000.
Oh, my
say?
gosh. 1,069 square feet condo.
1,069.
So it's not under.
It's a
I don't
condo.
know what you're talking about.
I was 69 square feet off.
Stop it.
That's ridiculous.
Stop trying to make us believe you.
Those images, they call that a penthouse condo in San Francisco.
Gotta
Yeah.
be kidding me.
That looked like a
All right.
back lot of a campus or something.
So please, go to real estate agents I trust. They will not steer you to Kamala's place. I promise. They're really good people who have great track records, and they're fans of the show. So they know better than to steer you to a place like that and pay $800,000. RealestateAgentsITrust.com. That's RealestateAgentsITrust.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Hey, just wanted to remind everyone watching and listening to subscribe to my daily podcast, Chewing the Fat, available wherever you get your podcasts, like iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify. Speaking of Spotify, Barack Obama, you know him, you love him.
This is a weird pair.
Bruce Springsteen, you know him, you love him.
No, I don't.
Am I right?
I don't love either one of them.
You are wrong on both accounts.
That's what I thought. Are launching a podcast on Spotify together
At a bar.
from the Higher Ground production company that is Michelle and Barack Obama's company, Renegades, born in the USA. It's a joint venture, and Mr. Obama, the former president of the United States, reflects on the strife caused by the pandemic and racial injustice in America and how the country can find our way back to a more unifying story.
Can you imagine how agonizing it would be to listen to that garbage?
It's gonna agonizing. You mean it's going to be great? Is what you mean?
That's two people I don't care for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got no love lost for
Either
one of them. Either one of them. But I know Bruce has his court date today for his DWI in Jersey. And it's a Zoom call, so put your clothes on, Bruce. And I don't care when, obviously it doesn't matter to me what happens, but he really, reading about the case, he should that should be dismissed and be gone. They're probably going to have him just pay a fine and be done with it.
Why should it be dismissed?
Because, Pat.
He drove drunk.
No, he didn't. He was at a national park.
Yeah.
All right. Where what the fine is going to be is he was charged with DWI, reckless driving, and consuming alcohol in a closed area. Okay, so he admitted to having a couple of shots with fans, taking pictures off his motorcycle.
So it's important as to who you're drinking with when you drive. I see.
And he wasn't driving. He told the officer asked him,
driving?
"Are you going to ride your motorcycle out of the park?" And Bruce was like, "Yeah." So they gave him a reckless driving ticket
Before he did
on top of that, and his blood alcohol content was 0.02. You have to have 0.08.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Is in your story when the officer had him count or walk how many steps?
18.
Okay, yeah, okay.
The officer told him to walk 18, but he walked 45.
But he can't follow directions. Obviously drunk.
Obviously drunk out of his mind.
Yeah.
Plus, he's 71, so over 70, that test doesn't even count.
What now?
Over as an elderly person over 70, the walking thing doesn't even count. You're not even supposed to count that.
Oh, wow.
Bruce Springsteen's 71.
I know.
That's the most depressing fact of this whole story.
It is.
That's for sure.
I mean, I can't stand it, but you're right. That's nonsense. Come on. If you're under the legal limit, what do you even...
Well, the officer said he smelled like alcohol and his eyes were glassy.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't
I think
matter.
the officer, and he admitted, he said, "Yeah, I took a couple shots of tequila with these fans here.
Yeah,
I took some pictures."
That glassy-eyed test does not work. I had a friend that got in trouble with a cop once. Yeah, it's called allergies, officer. He had not had a sip of anything, and you can't be looking at the eyes. That does nothing for you.
I mean, Bruce was just being nice and saying, "Yeah, I had a couple drinks with some fans here," and the cop was just being, you know how police are.
Yeah, courageous.
Wait, no.
You know how police
Should we
are.
explore
No, you
this?
know how they are.
Yeah, noble.
Those damn
courageous.
park rangers. If you were in Washington, D.C. on Monday, you probably heard... That is the Washington National Cathedral banging their bell 500 times. They rang their bells for the lives lost from COVID-19.
No.
Oh, there's
because
more than 500. Why didn't they do it 500,000
because we crossed it. I
times?
should have done it 500.
Heat math right there.
What are you, lazy? You lazy
Right.
bastards. If you're going to do it right.
Thank you.
So, how long
and
did
in a
that take?
proclamation, of course, President Biden
So they don't
ordered-
care about 499,000
How long did-
500
Yeah,
people?
no, they do
How
not.
long did it take them to ring it 500 times?
I don't know, 18 minutes or something like that. I'm not sure how long. But, of course, Biden's going to lower the flags half-mast until Friday, and we acknowledge the scale of this mass death in America. We remember each person and the life they lived. Yes, we do. And it's sad. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry that we've lost all those lives. I just, it's all horrible. But I just wonder if the Washington National Cathedral has ever swung those bells for the lives lost due to abortion. I just wonder if they've ever rung those bells. Now, maybe they have.
Yeah,
Maybe they have,
haven't.
and it just hasn't been reported, But I just wonder if they've done that to bring attention. Yeah,
not even something really political like abortion. What about all the lives lost from the flu over the last 10 years? Let's bang the bell once for every life lost from the flu. This is just, come on.
I know.
Come on.
I know. It's just, it's really
despicable
really insane.
how politicizing
I know
they are.
How much do we have time for? I see where employees at Israel's National Sea Turtle Rescue Center are treating endangered green sea turtles with mayonnaise.
Say that again.
And with mayonnaise, so they found that the mayonnaise, if they shove it down their throat, it cleans all their insides out. So it cleans all the tar out. So apparently they had turtles show up from a tar, an oil spill. And they had tar all over them, and the way to get rid of the tar inside the turtles
is to feed them mayonnaise.
I don't know what that tells me about mayonnaise.
I remember back in 1982.
What if you mix mayonnaise right in the can with the tuna fish?
Oh, I love that. Call Starkist. Love this. I love
Take
this.
live tuna fish and feed them mayonnaise.
Right.
This is good.
Well, you
soon
dropped the punchline. Call Starkist.
Call Starkist, yeah.
Which makes it funny at the end there.
Nah, it's funnier to hear you say it, though.
All right.
That's what people are tuning in.
Call Starkist. There you go. Hey, you know what? In response to the events of the last few days, weeks, months, years, Blaze Media is offering a $30 discount. So it's tied for our best offer of all time.
Whoa.
We did this at Christmas time, I think it was.
Yeah.
And we're doing it now. $30 discount on annual subscriptions for just a limited time. I think this is the last week of it.
Yep, better.
I mean, we're
now.
trying to break the record, but right now we're just tied with it.
Yes. Yes. But we're doing our darndest. It brings the cost down to like $69
Yeah,
is it?
yep.
for a
a
year.
year?
It's literally
Which is
18 cents a day.
Literally.
I mean, that's what Keith's math says. I don't know.
That's
if
Keith's
that's
math.
true.
So you
So-
check,
I
check it for
mean,
yourself.
yeah, we're complaining about voices being silenced, and they are.
Yes, they are.
So don't let that happen. It's more important than ever for our content to be heard and seen, and your voice to be heard, and for you to show your support. BlazeTV.com/Pat to get $30 off right now. BlazeTV.com/Pat. Some tweets here. This from Stinky Biscuit. Just like Jeffy, that song, this one, I think is what they're referring to here. The song is so funny yet so painful to hear every time.
Wait.
Yeah, just like Jeffy.
Just like Jeffy.
Wait,
Painful.
But you're funny,
Mm-hmm.
but painful.
So good. Caffeinated text and tweets. Bill Gates has stolen all the computer stuff he can. Now he's stealing Al Gore's thunder. Mm-hmm. Huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. DMXDM. I wonder how many people Jeffy is convinced that pee drinking is a Rona vaccine.
Oh, that's false information. That's misinformation. You can't be spreading
It's
that.
fake news, right?
Yeah.
Fake news.
That's misinformation. You don't want your Facebook post to be, to be blocked.
No, you don't.
No,
you do not.
Spreading misinformation like that.
All right, the Capitol building hearing, the Capitol insurrection hearing is going on again today. And
Let's get to the bottom of it.
let's get to the bottom of this thing. This armed insurrection that happened on January 6th. And it might be This is how dangerous these people were. This might be the only insurrection in the history of the world. The only armed insurrection where the people weren't armed.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's funny how that is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there was no one.
Not a single person has been charged with any weapon violation.
Nope.
Or brandishing one, or firing one,
Now,
or
have we arrested like truckloads of people that buried all the pipe bombs in the Capitol?
Pipe bomb's another interesting situation because, as we heard from AOC, there were so many of them that they surrounded the building
entire
in which
complex.
she was residing, and we found out that meant there were, get this, 2 pipe bombs, not 1, and not 0, but 2 pipe bombs.
Yeah.
Neither of which went off. Neither of which exploded. We're not even sure they were intended to.
We don't even know who put them there.
Was it ISIS? I don't know. Was it Iran?
know.
I don't know. Could it have been a Democrat? Could it have been one of the mob people?
Yes,
yes. It was obviously the armed insurrectionists.
And what did Nancy Pelosi know, and when did she know it? That's that needs to be found out as well.
So it'll be interesting to watch.
It
these.
will be interesting
they're
to watch.
making such a mountain out of this molehill. It's a despicable molehill, okay?
It sure is.
I hate the fact that it happened. I hate that they got out of control somewhat and did vandalism to the building. But let's not forget that the only people who died were people in the mob, the so-called mob, and the one police officer who had a stroke and died. He didn't get bludgeoned to death with anything. He had a stroke.
We had him laying in
and he died.
state.
Yeah, right. Right.
United State at the Capitol Rotunda because of this armed insurrection.
Mm-hmm. Because at the time, we were told he was bludgeoned to death by the
fire extinguisher
insurrectionists.
Yeah.
And none of that was true.
Nope.
It's agonizing. I don't know why his family didn't say that from the beginning, because they were saying, hey, let's not jump to conclusions. Let's not politicize this. Why don't you tell us why, though? Why? And the why...
I don't know that they knew.
I think they did.
I don't know that the family knew.
They strongly suspected something was up.
Right.
Because they wouldn't participate in the bashing of the mob there. They never blamed the mob for his death. So I think they knew that he died of a stroke. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. I don't know. Regardless, the Democrats have made this into something that is so overblown.
Don't they always? Mm-hmm. When they think it's going to help them, they latch onto it, and it becomes a theater of the absurd. Just ask Ted Cruz.
Yeah, and look at the COVID thing. That's what they've done with that. Now, is COVID real? Of course it is. Is it as bad as they're making it out to be? Absolutely not. Climate change. Is it real? Has the temperature risen a little bit? Yeah.
Okay.
Is it catastrophic? Absolutely not. But they continually do this for their own power, and it just doesn't stop. By the way, speaking of which, we've got this poll of Trump voters. They're still polling Trump voters, even though he's not in office anymore.
They will. They'll
continue to do this forever.
I don't know that they ever will let him go.
True. But polling suggests that voters who backed President Trump in 2020 hold more nuanced opinions on climate change than binary climate denial versus climate acceptance debate. Blah, 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 blah. The way they ask this question is really, really important. Because a poll conducted by the PPC, the Public Policy Center, in January,
love them,
found that 66% of Trump voters believe climate change is real.
Well, that's like we just said it was real here.
Yes! So the question isn't, is climate change real? Has it warmed? Well, yeah, we go in cycles. Everybody knows that. Well, 66% of Trump voters know it. The remaining 34% of Trump voters said climate change is not real and that the government should do nothing about it. Well, I'm kind of there too, but I believe that it has warmed. I just don't think it's catastrophic. It's part of the process of nature.
Now, honest question. If they had asked that polling question a week ago in exclusively Texas residents, would they have gotten completely different responses?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
You know, when it's 0 in Dallas, Texas, yeah, would that change people's minds? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
But what that shows to me is that it's so ingrained. They've done such a great job over the last 20 years of taking this narrative and just from
Twisting
scratch.
it.
From scratch. They have taken an entire population and taken a voter base even that you would think would have more common sense, and they believe this too, to whatever degree. It's fascinating. It is. It's just a microcosm of how you decide on a narrative, and then you take control of whatever means necessary to pump that in, whether it's through media, through education, through shaming, public shaming, policy, corporate changes of structure.
That's all good, but we only have 9 years.
That's true.
And
get on that.
once 9 years happens, we're doomed. It's over.
Yeah,
If we don't act now, according to
so we can't wait 9 years and then act?
our climate czar,
No.
John Kerry.
No.
So we got to do this. So we act now.
We've got to act now.
Right now.
and
In
then-
fact, it's already too late. That's why we have to act now. Because it's already too late.
I see.
The time to act is 25 years ago.
Thank you, my friend.
The
Thank
time
you.
to act is 100 years ago.
So then why even worry about it at this point if it's
Because
too
Oh, we can't give up.
we can't. Right, we got to do
late?
something.
You just said it's too late.
If it saves one life, isn't it worth the $100
Well, what if
trillion
it's an
we're going to
unborn
spend on
baby?
it?
What's an unborn baby's life and that we're saving?
Now you're talking about clumps of cells. Now you're talking about tissue as
But you
opposed
just
to
said if it saves one
real
life.
humans. Come on.
Now something unborn is alive. Okay, whatever.
Seriously.
It just shows the inconsistency of every single argument of the
That
left.
sure does.
888-900-3393. Oh, this is exciting news, too. Mayor Pete. It's a new documentary about Pete Buttigieg.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've been waiting
Mayor
for
Pete.
this.
I know, finally.
Yes.
Finally.
Are we going to see actual footage, or is it
I
a
hope.
remake
Yeah.
of him proposing to his husband at the train station?
I hope we get to see that beautiful
That's what
moment.
qualifies him, by the way, to be Secretary
I
of
know.
the
Transportation.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, bizarro world.
It is. It's a bizarre. I mean, is anybody interested in a documentary about Pete Buttigieg? Who's been clamoring for this? I remember back in 2005, I think that was the first time I said, you know what we need? You know what's lacking?
This guy's a trendsetter.
I'm a visionary. And I said back then, I said, damn it, we need a Mayor Pete Buttigieg
in
documentary.
2005?
Because I knew that the guy was on a fast track.
Going to be a mayor.
Was going to being a mayor. And we needed to see what led to it.
Right.
I've been saying it. If I've said it once,
Yeah.
you know,
How many times have you said it?
then
You can't.
you can't even. Right?
Maybe
Am I
once?
right? Who's with me?
We do have the documentary on Woody Allen that just started though on HBO that I'm looking for. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't watched it. I forget how many parts it is, but the first one just dropped.
He's not very
It's gonna
excited
be
about
good.
it. He and Soon Yi.
I know, but
his lovely wife.
I don't know. I read a couple of reviews where they said he didn't come off. Mia came off worse than he did.
Oh, really?
So I got to watch it. So we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, wow.
I know. And we have a documentary starting in mid-March that I'm looking forward to. Operation Varsity Blues.
They made a thing on that?
Yeah, Netflix.
Oh, wow.
What?
Mid-March. Yeah, Operation Varsity Blues, and they've got some wiretap audio.
Oh, nice.
Of the
About
parents.
Aunt Becky?
Yeah, and they
Are we going to find out how close to death we all were
Yes,
because of
they
her
played
donation
some audio.
to USC?
They played some audio, and they didn't say who it was, but the audio. One of the people in the audio is singer, and another one is a parent. They don't say who it is, but the parent is questioning. Is questioning the. They know that she's not a polo player, right? I mean,
Unreal.
she's not a water polo player.
No one knows how close to death Americans were during the month's reign of terror by Aunt Becky.
Operation Varsity Blues.
In color. Wait, I guess we don't need that part anymore.
Technicolor.
A
Speaking
Quinn
of which,
Martin production.
did you see WandaVision last week? You
Yeah.
guys are both watching it, right?
So good.
I think it's the most creative show, maybe ever.
Well,
on
I
TV.
mean, this is until we have the Pete Buttigieg
Yes.
documentary drop. So.
Yes, until
Okay.
that drops.
By the way,
Okay.
on that 2005, Pete was still in college. That's kind of
Right.
creepy.
Yeah,
Pat,
it was
that you were
building up.
already-
We knew he was going to be
You
mayor.
were
That's what they
already on
said.
board with that.
I've been watching the guy's career for a long time.
But back to WandaVision, I seriously think the most creative people in entertainment are all concentrated on that show.
Kind of seems like it.
Seriously, it's like that. Every creative mind associated with television writing and Imagineering, if you want to use that word. I mean, I think they all got together, and that is the product. WandaVision, great show on Disney Plus.
If you can get past the weirdness of the first 2 episodes, you're going to love this series.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I was a little perplexed after the first 2 because it's like, it's a 50s and 60s sitcom for the first 2 episodes.
And I will say that I don't have all the inside knowledge of all the
I don't either.
Of all the stuff. So
Yeah, I don't
my Maximus does.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of fun watching it with him because then
He can clue you in.
And this,
Yeah.
and this. That's why they did that.
It's kind of like, and I know you can relate to this. It's like listening to the Better Than Ezra album, How Does Your Garden Grow, right?
Oh,
The
right.
first couple
Right. I
tracks,
was
you're like,
just
what's
gonna
going
say.
on here? It's just so outside the box. And then by the time
Just
you're
gonna
done, you
say
realize it's the greatest album of all time.
Right.
Same thing, right? You've been
Right.
there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, many times.
Who hasn't?
Right?
Thank
Who
you.
has
That's
like-
why I came up with an analogy everybody could relate to.
And you did.
Better than
Did
Ezra.
it again. All right, let me tell you about Rough Greens. I've been talking about Rough Greens for quite a while now. It's a powder that you sprinkle on your dog's food. It's really simple. But with that simple act, you're providing your dog with essential vitamins and minerals and probiotics, omega oils, all the really good stuff he wouldn't otherwise get because it's all burned out of their dog food. Now, most dogs, like mine especially, she loves it and instantly loved it. But apparently there's some picky dogs who maybe it takes a little bit of time for them to get used to it. So the first thing we want to see is if your dog will actually eat it. You can get a free bag of Rough Greens for your dog to try out. All you pay is shipping. Just go to roughgreens.com. That's ruffgreens.com or call 833-ROUGH-DOG.
You are listening to Pat Gray.
Got some tweets. Tobin for Pope campaign. Can the sea turtles use their straws to mainline the mayo?
If turtles weren't so stupid, they would put straws in their noses. When I see a straw, I put it in my mouth. Straws don't belong there, but the turtles don't know why. So maybe they all deserve to die.
That was genius.
Beautiful. It's beautiful and inspiring.
And he smiles so big at the end. To die.
Les White tweets, I bet giving the turtles mayonnaise makes them extra creamy, too, when making the turtle soup.
Right, the turtle soup, or I mean, you start having canned turtle.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking forward to that.
He says, I would also feed them a little cilantro for flavoring. Good idea. The good idea.
You know, in that story where they found out that feeding them mayo is cleaning them out of the tar because they made such a huge deal out of this oil slick and this well. There were 11 turtles.
11?
There were 11 turtles they rescued.
That's 11 turtles that we...
Would the earth been thrown off kilter if 11 turtles didn't make it?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, Mr.
Really?
Hate-monger, mongering in hate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would.
Wow. All right.
And then just last week we had the cold stunned.
I know.
They were cold stunned.
They were cold stunned.
And they didn't know what to do. And the turtles washed up on the Texas shore. Thousands of
there
them
were at least
stunned by the cold. What do I do now?
Yeah.
It's cold.
Right.
I'm cold. They're like my wife out there on the beach. It's cold, Burr. I'm cold. It's cold. I'm
Cold
cold,
stunned.
Burr. It's cold.
Cold stunned.
I'm cold stunned. I can't go anywhere.
They
Burr,
just sent them
Burr,
back.
I'm
Yeah, they're
cold.
back.
They just sent them back. Yeah. I mean, that was they opened up some.
Well, it's 84 degrees. Yeah, I hope they got back to the water. Get back in the water, you dumb morons.
Yeah, here's a straw. Get out of here. Again, though, I ask, and I don't know how many there were. There were, hundreds for sure, if not thousands.
There were thousands. They said there were thousands.
I don't care what they said.
That's what they said.
It doesn't mean that there were. I just want to know if the Earth would have been thrown off its axis.
Yes.
If these turtles
how many times do I have to tell you?
it.
Yes. Okay. It's the balance of nature.
Okay.
It's the circle of life, if you will.
Thanks, Mr. Kraft. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And speaking of animals, we got this. I don't know what this is. It's another.
It's an animal. He's gonna do an animal video, y'all.
Keith's obsession.
Yes. Yes.
Let's see
the smart cow. Watch this. Watch this.
Oh, this
cow is. Look at that. He's smart. It's an electric fence, and he knows. Hey, I got to take it off from the little rubber handle. Take that off. Oh, there's another one.
All right.
Lift it up, and then. I said, there we go.
Yeah.
And now it's time to go.
And all the other cows are like, duh.
Yeah, then they're like, what do we do now? Now that's dumb.
And then they don't do anything.
No, they don't do a thing. And you know why they don't do a thing? Because they remember the prod they got the last time they went.
That is awesome. What a smart cow. Cows are smart.
What a smart cow. That was really, he's smart, right?
Yeah,
the cow.
He's smart.
You saw it?
I did.
You saw it.
Cows are smart.
We saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
So you disagree?
No.
That was genius.
Looks smart, that cow.
It's going to be even smarter when I fry it up in my frying pan.
It's going to look really
when I barbecue it out on my grill. It's going to really smartly go down my throat.
You are lying.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, we also have this video that was sent to us by a pathead. And thank you for it. This college student wandering around discussing his student loan debt.
Yeah, what's this guy?
So I woke up today and found out that Biden's student debt relief plan's kind of a sham, so let's talk about that.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
For those of you who don't know already, Joe Biden said he plans on forgiving 10,000.
Oh, that was good.
Wait, that's it?
That's it. I guess we're done here.
Okay.
All right. So
weird.
Now hang on to that.
TikTok usually lets those air a little bit longer.
Grab that back, because we'll want to revisit that. Once we get that technical issue.
Was it a technical issue?
Yes, it was absolutely a technical issue.
All right.
So
it wasn't planned to just end in the middle of a sentence.
No. This guy goes on to whine about
only $10,000, not his entire student loan
and then
debt.
he has to pay taxes on this relief. It's like, bro, how about a thank you at some point to us taxpayers that are going to be funding your rescue program?
Yeah. I can't take the student loan debt thing. Who accrued that? Did I accrue that for you? And now I should pay it off for you?
If it's that expensive,
no, don't
just
go.
Don't go, man.
Don't go. Don't
figure out another route.
Go.
You can't not go.
I not went.
You can't not go.
And learn sentence structure on your own. I not went.
That's right. So you not went.
No.
Keith not went. No, Keith did go.
Keith did go.
Keith did go. How much student loan did you have?
And look at the math skills that I developed at the University of Nebraska. None, actually.
Really?
My parents were very gracious, and
that's nice.
And so we made it work. They made it work, and I'm grateful for it.
If Biden is paying it off, I went, and I need the money.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I misspoke, guys. My gosh, the debt that I accrued trying to get I just wanted an education. Mm-hmm. I should be paid back.
We talked about it over and over again. It's agonizing.
It is.
Right? I mean, it's agonizing.
Yes, it is.
It's your choice.
Yep.
You said okay to it.
Right.
And now you want to be bailed out from it.
Yeah, because you didn't do any planning. You could have planned. You could have worked. You could have done a lot of different things. You could work and go to school. It's been done.
Now you're talking silly.
Now, yes.
Now you're talking silly.
It really is just crazy talk now. Despite the fact that millions and millions and millions of Americans have done it in the past, these little darlings
successful
can't
Americans
seem
have
to
done
do it.
And they've grown up in a society where it's instant gratification and where there are no consequences for any actions. There's no responsibility expected of you. And so, of course, why not? If I've been given a participation trophy for just showing up, if even that, why would I be expected to pay off a debt for services rendered?
Right.
I mean, that's just a mindset, and it's played out in so many different areas. This is just this particular one. Here we are.
Yep.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Yay!
All I know is I not go. Okay, that's all I know.
I not go. I not went.
I not went.
888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. I mean, there's a whole bunch of options. Trade school, community college, state university. I mean, state universities as rule aren't that expensive, and you could maybe work something out with them. You don't have to go to Harvard or Yale and develop $200,000 in debt.
And we've seen the smartness that comes out of there.
Yeah, haven't we though? Wow. All right, more Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Traffic and weather together every 6 minutes on the fives today. A Seattle-backed homeless shelter is instructing addicts to smoke heroin and inject drugs rectally. And the shelter is using tax dollars to help. What they want you to do is come, and if you're going to smoke, heroin, come down and do it here at the Downtown Emergency Service Center, and we can pass out the heroin pipes. And we'll also help you with the booty bumping kits that help you inject the drugs into your rectum. Rectum darn near killed him. But apparently this booty bumping.
Booty bumping?
Is done because, obviously, I mean, I have to tell you, a rectum is a very efficient place for absorption.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
So the high is described as more intense and longer lasting. That's where you want it, right in your rectum.
We used to do that with caffeine, too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We used to?
Yeah.
Who's we?
People.
So in Seattle, they put out this flyer. And the flyer says this is a really good choice if your veins are hard to hit.
I know,
and it doesn't leave tracks.
The needles crush your veins, man. After
so these
long.
aren't heroin enemas we're talking about.
No,
these are pipes. We're getting all up in there.
Similar. I mean,
the pipe you smoke, but you don't want to smoke what's been in your rectal
you use the
area.
booty bumping kit.
That's an injection.
I'm
system.
confused. And
they're doing both. These are two separate.
Okay,
two separate ways of getting high, and they're showing you how to do both of them. Because they want you to be safe when you're doing your drugs.
They're showing. Are there diagrams?
And there's a flyer.
There's a flyer.
Yes. So the answer is yes.
And this came about because so many people
are dying.
Well, and their veins are
their veins are collapsing.
I don't know if you've seen some of the addicts that are worse than others.
Yeah.
They're busy shooting in their necks. They're shooting in their
so now they're gonna
go
up the butt.
Your veins are shot.
Yeah.
So tough to find one.
You're running out of places to get high.
And first of all, who among us hasn't injected a little smack in their rectum?
A little something.
We all know that booty bumping is the safest way to go.
Who among us?
Because your rectum is really good at absorbing the drugs.
Yes, it is.
First of all.
Yes, it is.
Wow, that's definitive over there. Yes, it is. Yeah. Yes, it is.
He knows.
He knows.
I knew he was going to know this story. Here's the beauty of it. Seattle taxpayers get to pay the bill for it, too. That's awesome. Is that great?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yay!
What do you want the people to die?
No,
Is that what you want?
I don't.
Oh, Mister, we got to save the turtles, but we can't save the heroin addicts. Okay.
People need kidneys. It's sad but decreed. Yet the senator's hoarding one more than she needs. I offer this bill and I hope you'll vote aye. Unless, of course, you just want
people to die.
Traffic deaths have many crying with fear. Over 30,000 people are dying each year. This modest change I propose must be applied. Unless, of course, you just want
people to die.
Alcohol deaths are exceeding comparisons. Black people, white people, Native Americans. We need to ban alcohol. It can't be denied. Unless, of course, you just want
people to die.
Murders are bad. They have no defenders, yet many are committed by repeat offenders. I say lifetime in prison, whatever the crime. Unless, of course, you just want
people to die.
I don't have a bill or a groan to detail. I just need a short clip for my donor email. Tim, there's blood on your hands. You want people to die. That good? Cool. Tim, dinner at 5? Yeah, the car deaths I mentioned are terrible stuff. Doesn't seem one seatbelt is ever enough. You must vote for my act so that fewer will cry, unless, of course, you just want
people to die.
Carbs, the container, we cannot ignore. Whipped cream's killing more people than ever before. This
Whipped
bill
cream.
would be passed and be ratified if those people that didn't want
People to die.
Why not weigh all the costs, the effects, the results, empathize with each other as if we were adults, use our brains to craft arguments, not vilify, see that freedom's a trade-off.
You want people to die. Right.
I tried.
Okay, so there you go.
Crossing the street
Yeah.
is incredibly tough. People look left and right, but rarely
It's incredible.
look up.
It's incredible. The things that, and that's what they'll say. If you don't want to pay for this, you just want people to die. That's what you want. So if it saves just one life, teaching them how to inject heroin into their rectums, then wasn't it worth it? Wasn't it worth
Well, I
it?
mean, we've made it, an everyday thing, right? I mean, we've got professors at Columbia saying that, sure, I do a little heroin for work-life balance.
For work-life
Yeah,
balance,
it's
is that what
work-life
it
balance.
is?
Yeah, of course, I get home after a long day. I just want to snort a little cocaine.
That's all.
Sure, my wife and 3 kids are home, but I just want to do a little cocaine for work-life balance. And you know what?
What?
Why not? I do a little meth too.
Do you?
I do a little meth as a Columbia professor. Yeah, head of the psych department. Okay. And you know what? I do. I've done some other drugs too, just to hang. You know when you have to go to events, Pat, and there's going to be a lot of people around.
Yeah.
You know how difficult those are.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I like
anxiety.
I like to do a little heroin before I go to those events, just to get
sort of
through it.
To mellow your
Just to get
harsh
through it.
or harsh
Yeah.
or mellow or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. This guy is teaching.
Yes.
He's a professor.
It's crazy.
At Columbia University. Yeah. It's a little work-life balance.
And they're not gonna fire the guy?
As far as I know. He talked about it in his book.
I mean, if you had a mean tweet from 2008, you could be fired. But,
Right.
But
Wait,
all of this is fair game.
You're leaving out an important detail. A mean tweet if you're a Republican.
Right, if you're a
Okay.
Republican. Sure.
It's amazing.
Speaking of U.S. Tax dollars going to places we don't want we don't want them to go, U.S. government has expressed interest in funding flights to bring asylum seekers blocked by former President Trump's Remain in Mexico program into the country. UN officials said this in an interview the other day. United States and the UN are evaluating the location of migrants and costs associated with the flights, and no decisions have been made yet. But we may start flying refugees into the United States from all over the world.
All over the world.
All over the world.
Okay, good.
Not just the southern border now. So we might be going to the Middle East and bringing people, back here.
Good.
Yeah, because their situations aren't good.
I mean, sure, there's upheaval in Africa, in several countries, and people are leaving their home countries and are just refugees in other countries. Well, let's just bring them here.
Right. Well, I mean, do you want people to die?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you. Just a few things that this president has gotten done for America in the first, a month now? A little over, it's a month and 4 days.
Yeah. So he's been doing a lot of stuff for us.
A lot of stuff. Listen to Biden's
a
first month. Listen to this. $85 million to Raytheon Arms, a Raytheon Arms deal for Chile. $197 million to Raytheon for missiles for Egypt. $245 million in a Raytheon Arms deal for us. $1.2 billion Raytheon missile defense in talks.
Wow.
0 stimulus checks so far. We've gotten some drone.
Got $2,000. That's in there, right? Everybody got $2,000.
No, nobody got $2,000. That's why it says 0 stimulus checks. Drone strikes in Somalia. We built a new U.S. military base in Syria. We sent thousands of troops to Yemen, Syria, and Iraq already.
Wow.
Froze the price decrease plan on insulin. Froze the price decrease plan on epinephrine. Wait, I thought that was one of his big deals, is the evil U.S. drug companies charging so much money. And then there was a price decrease plan, and he froze it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't lower those prices yet.
Yeah, because Trump went after him. He was pissed that they were charging so much for this stuff.
He canceled the Keystone Pipeline, of course. Killed thousands of jobs. Refunded the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
Oh, good.
He sent the WHO $200 million.
The who?
Yeah, to Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey. Are they not rich enough? Are they not rich
He
enough?
keeps breaking guitars on stage, though. He's got to pay him off.
That's true. That's a good point.
I like that federal double mask mandate, right? Or
Yeah,
it's
double
single,
mask mandate.
Yeah, it's so
I mean,
single
that
federal.
doesn't even mention, we've made the Capitol secure.
Yes,
by,
we have done that.
fencing and concreting it in and having troops there.
He's also stopped the border wall production.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting ready to shut down. I mean, again,
From
we have
fracking.
more talks of shutting down Guantanamo. I don't know, we'll just get rid of it.
Fracking on federal lands done.
Okay.
Right.
Let's see. What else have we done? Has he done in his first month? He got us back into the Paris Accord.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that was good.
Okay.
Sir.
Iran.
Oh, we're talking about getting back into a nuclear deal with Iran. Yes.
Was the bathroom policy for transgenders? Right?
Oh, that's right. That's
That's about
that's
time.
right.
I was sick during the whole Trump administration.
I was sick
all
about
I
that,
saw
too.
people.
Yeah.
was-
Yeah. People going into the wrong
Yes,
bathrooms.
man.
Hated that for him. I hated
Yeah,
that.
me too.
I wept. As a man, I broke down and I wept openly.
Well, then this policy
Each
is
time.
perfect for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't wept quite as much. So, and speaking of the
You
trans,
will, my friend.
I know.
You will.
Speaking of the trans situation, transgender activists are a little hacked off right now
What's up?
at a campground for gay men because it's excluding women who say they're transgender
Yeah.
men. Owners of Camp Boomerang RV Park and Campground.
Yep.
How many times have you visited so far, Jeffy?
Orion. It's in Orion, Michigan. I don't know if you know
Okay.
this, but if you hold up your hand as Michigan.
Okay.
Where's the
Okay.
Which one,
Orion.
This one?
This way, yeah.
Orion is right here
All right.
in Michigan.
Do you need a
This is
marker?
little Out of,
You want any marker?
It's out,
Come
It's out of the
Grand
way.
Rapids.
Okay.
Yes.
But the owners made it clear the campground is for men only, effectively
Yeah.
banning transgender men, biological females who consider themselves males. How dare you?
Yeah, he said
How
we just
dare
want to
you.
be clear that we want people
Guys,
that
they
have
want only guys, penises.
penises there. That's all. That's it. If you,
I was
if you
wondering
don't-
which
if
of you
don't
gentlemen
have-
were gonna
if
say
you
it
don't have
first.
one of those,
Yeah.
we don't want you.
Right. That's right.
Now, I believe he took down this Facebook post already, though.
He did?
I think he did. I think they took it down already.
Oh.
That's interesting because this is the battle of the special
I
interest
know.
groups.
Right.
I know.
The super powerful special interest groups. And the trans activists are going to win this one
Right,
again.
the
They're going to win again.
The trans mafia.
It's
Right, it is the
unbelievable.
trans mafia, man.
Seriously, they accumulated power at a
Quickly.
lightning fast pace, and
I don't,
they
know
let
if they,
me
I don't know if they end up winning this, though, although they,
I don't know, man. I don't know. If he's already taken it off the website.
I know, but that doesn't mean that he's going to let you into camp.
It's incredible. You would think that trans people make up 80% of our population.
They do.
Yeah, they don't.
They do. My
It's-
gosh, what are you talking about?
0.7%.
Oh, now you're doing Keith math.
No.
Okay.
I'm doing actual math. It's 0.7%. Wow.
Which equals 80%.
So don't go with the legacy special interest group, the gay community.
Oh, I know.
You go with
Holy
the
cow.
upstart trans community because they
Right.
they're on a winning streak,
My
and now they have the
gosh.
backing of. That's interesting, Ivan. The transgender. I mean, they've leapt above the gay community special interest. The women.
Oh, definitely
I mean,
above women.
Yeah,
It's,
way
it's,
above women.
it's fascinating and
Yeah,
in record
it is.
time too.
I don't
Yeah.
know that they've jumped ahead of the BIPOC yet, though.
BIPOC. All right. What was that again? The-
Well, it's the black,
Black
indigenous people of color.
Isn't people of color almost redundant if you already
Yes.
said black?
Yes, it is.
So,
I guess.
I mean, they just
I
wanted
guess you can be BIPOC trans. Or is it
Well,
trans,
yes, you could.
trans
to wait
BIPOC?
till the trans community wants to be a part of BIPOC.
Yeah, they are.
Uh-huh.
You'd be trans BIPOC.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll
Now
work
you're
this out in
camping
a
where the hell
second.
you want to.
But first, let me tell you about Bambi. We're welcoming another new sponsor to the show, Bambi. Happy to have them. Thank you for joining us. When you're running a business, HR issues can kill you. Wrongful termination suits, minimum wage requirements, labor regulations. You got to navigate all of that kind of stuff. And HR manager salaries aren't cheap. They average about $70,000 a year. Bambee, spelled BAMBEE, was created specifically for small businesses. So you can get a dedicated HR manager. You can craft HR policy and maintain your compliance, all for just, get this, $99 a month.
Nice.
$99 a month.
Nice.
It's a lot cheaper than paying a salary to
Yes,
an
it
HR
is.
manager.
Yes, you noticed that? That's a good notice.
And
on your
I'm
part.
not even good at math, and I figured that out.
Your dedicated HR manager is available by phone, by email, or real-time chat. From onboarding to terminations, they customize your policies to fit your needs in your business. All, again, for $99 a month. So go to Bambee.com/unleashed right now. Schedule your free HR audit. That's Bambee.com/unleashed. BEE.com/unleashed.
Pat Gray returns.
So on this gay campground, the cry will be, well, it's a private business. They can do what they want, right? Isn't that going to be
Yeah, let's hope so.
And it's a private club. It's a private membership-only entity.
But the trans
Can you no
mafia,
longer do that?
The trans mafia is not going to let that happen.
We're in a place, I think, now where you just can't have a private club. Like, you used to do male-only clubs.
Yeah.
I guess that can't be anymore. You used to be able to do even female-only if you
define
wanted to.
male first.
Yeah, well, biological
there you go.
males
Yeah.
with, junk in their pants.
That's what I'm saying, man. We can't even agree on definitions.
You can have BIPOC clubs.
BIPOC.
BIPOC clubs. No white people.
I love the language of it now. If you were assigned male at birth.
Yes.
Stop it.
So that's
your assignment, yeah.
It's your assignment. I'm not following that assignment. No.
Well, we'll ask you when you're at different ages.
Right, when I'm 18. Well, actually, when I'm 8. When I'm 5, I can decide.
Yeah.
Are you a boy or a girl? I'm a girl. I think I'm a girl. Okay, let's get the razor blade.
Don't put that in a book, though. It'll get you kicked off of Amazon.
Jeez, unbelievable. But the owner of the campground, Brian Quinn, defined guys as, quote, he left no room for doubt.
No, he did not.
A person with a penis, unquote.
I mean, so specific. No wiggle room, if you will.
It's somebody who presents himself as male and has a state-issued ID that says male. He said, we understand the statement, unfortunately, may not make everyone happy, but feel it needs to be clarified. As it exists as a private membership-only entity. It's our hope that everyone who visits Camp Boomerang enjoys a comfortable, safe, non-confrontational environment going forward. That's impossible. You're not going to have that.
Not going to happen.
Being a private membership-only entity allows us the ability to build a like-minded atmosphere. Does it? No. I don't know. I don't think you can do this anymore. You couldn't say we want only men here.
There is no freedom of association in the United States of America anymore.
Nope. The statement from the new campground drew heavy backlash on social media. Transgender activists accusing the owners of acting in a blatantly transphobic manner by borrowing biological women from the private campground. It's so ridiculous. You're not afraid of trans people just because you've set up a camp that they're not in. You know what? Heterosexual men are not invited either.
Thank
right?
you. Right. Great point.
Well, but if you show up and you have a penis, they're going to let you in.
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, how do you prove?
I don't
right?
know.
Yeah, okay, so.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're not turning me away. If I show up, I'm camping.
Yeah,
right.
and you want to camp at this campground, don't
man.
you?
Yeah, you do.
You're not going to be able to drag me away from Orion's
Well,
Boomerang
gonna be able to
campground.
drag you away for multiple reasons, but okay.
Why?
Why? What?
Why don't you answer that for us, Jeffy?
First of all, also a best-selling controversial book on transgender people has been removed from Amazon 3 years after its publication. Ryan Anderson's When Harry Became Sally. That's a great title.
That is a great title.
When Harry Became Sally. was removed from Amazon's cyber shelves 3 years after the bestseller was published. Anderson told Newsweek that he discovered that his book had vanished from Amazon, as well as the company's e-reader Kindle, podcast service Audible, and used booksellers when someone looking to buy a copy informed him.
Yeah, they got rid of it all.
Wow. It was number 1 on 2 of Amazon's bestseller lists before it was even released. But there was some controversy because it argued that society's growing acceptance of trans people stems more from ideology than science. How dare you say that?
Right?
How dare you?
And that'll get you, bestseller or not, that'll get you ripped off of Amazon.
We need to respect the dignity of people who identify as transgender, but without encouraging children to undergo experimental transition treatments and without trampling on the needs and interests of others. This guy hates,
right?
man, doesn't he?
I can't take it.
When Harry became Sally Poison.
Seriously.
Unreal.
But that's just it. I mean, this is a digital book. This is book burning.
Yeah, yes,
Yes.
it is.
That's all this is.
Yeah, it is.
The tolerant left that wanted us to have a conversation and wanted to talk about our differences. Oh, and glorify our differences and let's celebrate them. Somebody comes along that says, all right, look, I'm going to make a case as to how this transgender movement is more ideological than science. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
Best-selling book. Goodbye.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's if you don't toe the line on everything they want you to think and believe.
At the time.
Yes.
At the time,
by the way.
At the time. That's just it. Your barometer's got to be in tune, man.
We have so much stuff that's misinformation that changes to not misinformation.
Right.
And we've already knocked people off the block that have spread misinformation that turns out to be, well, now it's not. It's
you've got to know when to
now.
pivot. You've got to know the exact moment. It's like day trading, man. You better know the moment to pivot, or you find yourself being canceled.
You're done. By the way, the United States women's national soccer team, they're no longer going to protest the national anthem.
Yeah.
Oh.
How about
at the games.
At the games.
At the games.
When will they?
Because they said that we're doing so much. We're doing
behind the
so much
scenes.
behind the scenes.
They don't need to do it anymore.
We don't need to do it we don't need to make that statement at the games anymore. So I mean, that's what they said.
Yeah, that's what they said.
That's what they said.
More to do with Trump not being president.
What they said was the team is past the protesting phase and actually more into putting all of the talk into actual work now. That's what. Is
that bully Megan Rapinoe? She's not on the team anymore, right?
Yeah, no, she's on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I thought maybe that had something to do with it. Like she's left. Okay,
no, she's still there.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if a tree falls on a soccer field, I'm not going to notice. So I'm sorry.
Bully?
Yeah.
Is that what you called Megan Rapinoe?
Yeah, I could see her being a bully to her teammates and saying, "So help me if we don't kneel." But I stand corrected.
What kind of anti-gay statement slang term are you trying to call Megan Rapinoe bully?
Wow. Is she allowed at that campground, by the way?
No.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, she doesn't claim to be a male. She
does not.
She's just lesbian.
Right.
So
Okay.
she's not as special as...
I'm just checking. I don't know. I can't keep up with the definitions and who's allowed where in our society. Can't follow anymore.
It's too bad because it's a really good soccer team. I mean, they're the best in the world.
I know.
And they just ruin it. They just ruin it with all their political activism. And I think what they realized was, hey, we're ruining it with our political activism. So you know what? Maybe we should stop.
No, they're doing so much behind the scenes.
Right.
That's
right.
Yeah.
That's right. There's no time to do it in front of the camera.
We don't want to be in front of no. That's just dumb.
No. So we're too tired from everything we're doing behind the camera. Okay.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.